guys have played solitaire game before, right?
Yeah.
On your PCs, right? You got a stack of cards. It's really boring and monotonous, but everybody in the world has played it. John Cutter he's the game designer. It's his idea from several years ago. He thought, well, since everybody knows what it is, how can we make it a little more interesting, a little more exciting, a little more modern? And he took a game of golf, which I'm sure most people have heard of as well, and just sort of put them together and came up with this idea that he called Fairway Solitaire. It's a golf solitaire game. The goal is to play one higher or one lower than what's down here, so an ace or a queen. And then the goal is just to really make as long of a chain as you can. And then that determines the score. It's a par 5, so if you finish with 5 cards up here, you get a par for the whole 4 cards, you get a birdie, all the way down. And the goal is to get clear them along the way. You can earn different rewards. I've already earned it on this hole, but you can earn 1,000 golf bucks, which is the in-game currency, for getting a long drive of 20 or more. So there's just different layers. We've got a gopher in there who likes to taunt you and do different things. So on the surface, a lot of people find solitaire boring, a lot of people find golf boring. So it was a really bad idea on paper. But when it came together in the game, it's incredibly addictive.
So you're saying 2 wrongs do make a right?
Sometimes they do.
Yeah, this quick summary of game development is try, fail, refine, try, fail, refine, try, fail. Ooh, almost worked.
John Cutter, again, had to kind of push his way through as the game designer, as the idea holder. You know, he's like, no, really, you guys have to trust me. This will be really fun. And luckily, we gave him the leeway to do it, and he proved it to be really fun. So I'll just run through a couple here, and you just kind of keep going until you run out of plays. I've played this a little bit. Used it many times. So now when you run out, right, there's nothing else. There's not an ace or a 3 up on the board. The other thing we introduced is this idea of the golf clubs in your bag. I can choose any of my clubs here in the bag to continue the run. So looking up here, right, there's a 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can put down 4 out of my bag. And it becomes a playable card up here, so now I can just keep the run going. And then when I'm all done, you push another card, and then the process repeats. Part of the variety that we have in the game that really makes it addictive is the concept of hazard cards. So like golf, right, there's rough, there's sand, there's water, all these different things, bunkers, right? So in this one, there's a water card. So before I can clear this, or to clear this card here, I have to play all these first. So now it's a strategy. It's like, okay, my overall goal is to clear as many cards as possible. But now I've got a sort of a sub-layer of that where I have to play these ones before I can get to this. And this is it's sort of an introductory hole. But imagine if all of these were blocked like this, right? So then it becomes, okay, well, or maybe even just these 3 were blocked. So I can clear these 6, but I'm gonna get a really bad score. So I gotta try to figure out how to make it all work. So now as soon as I clear the king, this one will unlock, and now I can play it. So one of the things that's sort of changing in the world, and actually it's kind of funny that we're up here. There's a free-to-play. You guys are familiar with that term, possibly?
Yeah.
So games are now sort of becoming a service, like an ongoing product forever, as opposed to just a single disc download, whatnot. So when we launched this game, this was the original end of the progression content. Like there's a story that pulls through, and that this would be the end. And then we had 2 of the bonus packs. So since we've launched, we've added 3 new progression and then 5 new actual content packs. And perhaps more importantly, we actually launched this. This wasn't part of the original game. We're called daily mode. What we found is in the courses here, the core download, we figured that would give people 6, 7 months worth of content. And within 48 hours, they played through all of it. So we were grossly off on the estimates of how long it would take people to get through. And so we had people just completely addicted to the game, but nothing new, nothing more for them to do. So we scrambled and put together this daily mode, which is effectively you get 3 courses every day, and we leave a week's worth of content for you to play. So basically you have 7 days, and every single day you'll get a new one of these. So each one of these, we call it, there's a whole, so each one of these layouts is hand designed by one of our designers. The thing we also introduced in daily that's different than the regular mode were these challenges. So not only are you still trying to get the par score and get a perfect score in each one, there's also these individual challenges that we're doing. So it just sort of adds another goal for the player to do, and you earn these challenge cups that you can only earn in the daily mode. So it gives a little more value to the mode, changes the way you play the game, and since we've launched daily, which would have been last summer, we've seen over half the people now, when they download the game and start playing, go here. So what was originally the game idea here is just slowly pushing all the way over to here. So it's kind of interesting. We figured people would play through this and then come here. It's the other way around. So that's the other thing about free-to-play games is you have an idea going out, you put it out there, and you have things to measure what's happening. And at least in my experience so far, we've been off target every single time. So, but yeah, it's just you have a theory like, okay, we figured people will learn the game here and start to enjoy the mechanics, and then come here and see how it's working. But it's the other way around, which, okay, as long as they're playing, it's fine with me.